Alright, what's up, boys and girls? Got a video that's going to be a follow-up to one I put out about a week or two ago that was titled, This Man is Delusional. This is essentially going to be part two. That video was from, I believe, Thanksgiving of 2018, so late November 2018. This is going to be DSP's New Year's Eve podcast 2018 part 3. So this is a little more than a month later. I'll have the link for it down in the description if you want to go watch it yourself. In the last video, he talked about his parents, and he started using them as sympathy and bait to leave to go get married. But he was also begging for donations on that one, of course. This one, he's going to go into a little more detail about his parents, and it's fucked up, man. It's just fucked up. As almost every video I put out now just ends the same way, fucked up. Besides that, we have a special present for you, as you can see in the title. Since we hit the $2,000 Jasper Tips goal, I have a special surprise that's a positive addition to the streams that you guys are gonna love. And we'll have that at the end of the video, and probably 90% of you were gonna like it, I promise, and you're gonna trip out. Something that I found going through another video, and I don't want to give any more secrets, so let's just stop talking about it. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. DSP's New Year's Eve podcast 2018 part 3. Let's fucking go.
But what I want to do is tell you a little bit about personal stuff going on in 2019. I've only alluded to some of this previously, and I do want to talk about this publicly because there is some stuff going on in my life right now personally that I have really not mentioned a lot that I do need to bring up now, okay? And please understand, this is very personal to me. This is very private, but it's something that I want to bring up because it's a serious matter, all right? In 2019, at some point, whether sooner or later, I'm going to end up having to go back to Connecticut. I talked to my parents about this, and they told me that I could 100% talk to you guys about it and reveal anything I wanted and be honest with you. I told them I was doing this podcast today, and they said, yes, please go ahead and tell them whatever you want. My parents aren't doing so well, all right? They're getting old, and my mom has had a lot of health issues over the years already. The last few years, you guys noticed I haven't really talked about my dad that much. It's because he's not doing very well. My dad is getting a lot of health issues, both his back, which he basically has, remember my back issue, my herniated disc? Well, he has at least 2, if not 3, in the same situation that I had. So he's really fucked up right now and can barely move around. He's been like this for about 2 years now. And now he's starting to have other health problems. He's starting to have heart problems, okay? So it's a bad situation. It's really bad. And the thing is, my parents are basically telling me, listen, we don't know what's going to happen. We could be around for many more years, or one of us could see a really bad turn for the worse. And that's it, okay? You may have wondered where my parents been, because if you remember when I first moved out here in 2014, they immediately visited me for Christmas of 2014, and then they visited me again in the summer of 2016, remember? And you might be saying, well, what the hell now? It's been like 2.5 years. We've heard nothing about Phil's parents. Well, the bottom line is they're not doing very well at all, okay? And immediately you get a dickhead like ITG Jake. I'm going to read it because I've had enough and he's permanently banned now. Do you want us to give you money to see your parents? Fuck you, Jake. How about that? Fuck you. No. Because you don't wait 5 seconds to let me finish what I'm saying. Now, not only are you permanently banned, but now we all get to laugh at you publicly for being an insensitive piece of fucking shit when I'm bearing my heart to the fucking stream. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm not asking anyone for money to go to Connecticut to see my parents. In fact, it's the actual complete polar opposite situation, okay?
All right, prayer hands in chat for ITG Jake, please. Prayer hands for you. I used to think that was Jake likes cats or likes Jake's cats or whatever the fuck his name is. I thought it was the same person. Now I don't even fucking know. But prayer hands for that, because you got some good fucking bait out of that one, homeboy. But where do you even start, man? This fucking guy. So let's just go back to the beginning. So, he immediately tells you he wants to talk about personal stuff. And that's when you know you need to grab your fucking wallet as a viewer of this piece of trash. Immediately grab your wallet, make sure you know where it's at, and lock that bitch up. So, how many times has he told us of it, or his viewers told him not to mention personal stuff because it can be used to hurt him, etc., and he just disregards it? Direct quote. I talked to my parents about this, and they told me I could 100% talk to you guys about it and reveal anything I wanted and be honest with you. I told them I was doing this podcast today, and they said, yes, please go ahead and tell them whatever you want. Unquote. Massive fucking X to doubt that, you piece of trash. And you know damn well his parents didn't say that, and you fucking know it. It's, what the fuck? It's so sad that we have to wonder if this was even a real conversation or not. You know, if I had to guess, I would say it fucking wasn't. You know, would you want a family member of yours sharing your personal medical info and history on the internet with strangers? You know, it's too bad Dark isn't a medical or insurance worker. We could have him in jail for HIPAA violations right fucking now. And technically, it's not my place to discuss his parents' health situation, obviously. You know, I really hope he's not lying here because, as most of you know, I believe in what goes around comes around. You know, I really hope he wasn't lying about this. The problem I have is that it looks so fucking shady that they mysteriously got, quote, very ill right around the time he needed a lie so he could go across the country and get married. And he even admitted afterwards that he had to lie, that's a direct quote, to his viewers about the wedding and the reason for the trip because of the trolls. You know, it's so fucked up, man. He then talks about how his dad has a messed up back and with herniated discs, just like DSP's was. Well, gee, Dark, yours seemed to magically heal by itself, so why wouldn't his? That Seattle air, you piece of trash. And then he mentions that his dad is having trouble moving around, direct quote, and is starting to have heart problems as well. Whatever, dude. It's a bad situation. It's really bad. What do you even fucking say? What do you say, man? And then, here's probably the best part of it all. His parents tell him, quote, they could be around for many more years, or they could see a turn for the worse, unquote. That statement right there tells me he's fucking lying, and this is a joke. He shouldn't be joking about this shit, and he's not joking. He's just using it to beg and plead and for sympathy and blah, blah, blah. And here we are. Here's the beauty of it all, man. Here we are, coming up on 3 years. In 2 months, it'll be 3 years since he recorded this. And what's fucking changed? His dad is still working full time. And I know he is because there was some shit on Kiwi Farms recently about his parents. And his dad is still working full fucking time. And Mama Burnell's still probably thinking, oh, this is year 3 or 4 of the 10-year plan. None the wiser. Whatever, dude. Let's go to the next fucking clip.
My parents have basically told me that since, you know, this is a circumstance where they absolutely, not only obviously do they want to spend time with me, they want to meet Kat. You know, Kat has lived with me for almost a year, and I'll be very honest with all of you, I would love to marry her someday. I have no idea if that's in the cards with everything, the way things have been going financially and everything, but obviously I've told my parents this, and they're like, we want to meet her. Like, this is amazing. We want to meet her and spend time with her. Kat is a cat lover. My parents own 3 cats who she would like to meet, obviously. And basically, you know, it's a situation where even though this is no way, okay, is this the best time for this to happen, for me to take time away from work and streaming? It's basically at this point a necessity, a make or break. If I don't go to visit my parents sometime in 2019, I may never see them again. You see what I mean? And it may be one or both. I don't know. They don't know. You know, they're basically telling me we have health issues and we want to see you and we want to meet Kat and we want to spend time with you. You know, and it's not going to be a long time. I already told my parents, I said, you know, if this happens, You know, it can't be a long time. I can't be away from work that long. I have to keep making money. And they said, we understand that. Even if it's just a few days, that would be great. So we can meet Kat. And then they even said, you know, this would be good for you. Take Kat around Connecticut for a day or two and show her your old haunts. Take her to the zoo, show her the old places you used to like to go shopping and that kind of stuff. So she can see where I came from, which would be really awesome. But also she'd get to meet my parents and spend time with the cats and just have some family time. Because we don't know, honestly, if we'll ever get to have it. You know, my parents felt this so bad they can't even come out here to see me, which sucks. And it really is sad because I thought years ago when they visited me, it might have been one of the last times. But then their health got even worse after that. And I'm just like, you know, with everything else going around, everything else happening, with all the stress and everything going on, this is something that has to happen.
All right, he did this on the last video too, but direct quote is, "I would love to marry her someday. I have no idea if that's in the cards, the way things are going financially," unquote. Again, as he's sitting there probably engaged and with the plan to go get married in 4 months. You know, it's just more proof of how easily this guy can look straight at the camera and just lie about shit, man. He keeps mentioning Kat spending time with his parents' cats. Yeah, that's a really big selling point to him for some reason. He thinks his viewers really give a shit about that. I don't understand. And then again, to his parents' health, he says it's so bad that they can't come out there to see him. Again, you know, I don't know what their health is really like, but his dad 100% still works full time, even to this day. Heart problems, having trouble moving around, bad back, etc. I don't know, man. I just don't fucking know. I'd be willing to bet that his dad is in better health than DSP. You just look at this fucking picture. I'd be willing to put money on that. His dad is probably in better health than him. Fuck off, David.
You know, and it was funny because I was actually talking to my mom about this on the phone. I said, you know, it would really suck if we come out there, we visit you guys, and we come back home and immediately the next thing I have to do is like sell the house. But if that has to be, I guess it has to be. You know what I mean? So just for pure transparency here, I and Kat will be paying none of this trip if and when it happens. We're hoping it will happen. I already talked to my parents. They said, we're going to take care of it. We understand your financial situation. We couldn't ask for you to pay for any of this stuff. And we will, you know, whether it's you need a hotel room. I don't know if we'll be staying with them. I don't know how the house accommodations are with all of them or whatever. Or we're going to be able to borrow their car, or they're going to get a rental car. I don't know. We haven't worked any of this shit out yet. This is, you know, we just started talking about it last month. And now it looks like probably sometime in January we'll start talking more specifics of a time frame and all of that. We're actually looking at possible time frames the spring. I'll just say that the spring, because it looks like there's some dead times for game releases in the spring. And if it's in the spring, Kat would have time to take time off ahead of time to do it as well, which would be good, rather than her getting in trouble at her job for trying to take time off and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, what we're looking at is probably a few days to a week that sometime in 2019, we're going to be probably going back to Connecticut for just to spend some time with my parents, so Kat can get to know my parents, to show Kat Connecticut or whatever. And that'll honestly, for me, kind of be some closure, because when my parents left here in mid-2016, I was in a very different living situation. It was a very different situation then. And since then, obviously, so much has changed. And I really, really want them to meet Kat and spend time with Kat, because she's been such an amazing person to me in my life. And I think that they deserve to meet someone who I want to spend the rest of my life with. And it's just something so serious that, yeah, it has to happen this year at the latest, because my parents are saying we're at the point where maybe this would be the last chance, because we don't know what's going to happen. So
he just can't help himself. He has to fucking lie in every statement. He has to lie. He just can't help himself, man. Direct quote at the end there. And it's just something so serious that it has to happen this year at the latest, because my parents are saying we're at the point where this may be the last chance because we don't know what's going to happen, unquote. And again, 3 years later, and nothing has changed. And he just thinks people are just supposed to forget about this. Don't even remember that this fucking happened. And the more clips that I watch, the more that I believe that he did this 100% for tax reasons. Solely for tax reasons. And for his bankruptcy. He was trying to put shit in her name, and he didn't know what was going to happen with that bankruptcy. So fucking shady, man. Let's go back to the beginning of it. Direct quote. Just for pure transparency's sake, I and Kat will be paying for none of this trip, unquote. And he holds up a 0 with his hand to show you he means 0. For his fucking brain dead fans so they know. Do you know what 0 means, Dark? I highly doubt you didn't spend a fucking dollar during this trip. Who paid for your gin on the plane out there, bitch? Who paid for your airplane Wi-Fi so you and Kat could maybe play some mobile games? Who bought your liquor from the Total Wine in Connecticut? Piece of trash. And the best question is who paid for your Apple iTunes and PayPal transactions for WWE champions? Huh? Bitch, who paid for that? Then he talks about Kat taking time off from her part-time job. Oh, it's really crucial, huh, Dark? That really needs to fucking happen. Not sure how Fred Meyer would have stayed in business if she wasn't able to get that vacation time. And at this time, I'm not sure if people already knew she worked at Fred Meyer or not. This was pre-bankruptcy, so I don't know if we had confirmation yet. But he was still probably trying to pass it off that she worked a corporate job, which is what he did when she first moved in. How her job was going to allow her to transfer different states, and she needed to get all this new shit for her job, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. Then at the end, he throws some shade at Rihanna there, talking about his parents need to meet this beautiful woman that has changed his life for the better. And then you look at his life now, and you look at Rihanna and those pictures she puts up, and the way she talks about her life. Who was the winner there? Who got the better end of the stick? I think we all know the answer to that fucking question. Next clip.
So, without revealing too many other details, that's kind of the deal. And obviously, I would give you guys more details as we got closer to if and when this is going to happen in 2019, but more than likely it's going to. But to clarify once again for the assholes who will try to make shit up, they'll try to tell you that if you give me funds, it's to go on this trip to Connecticut. False. This is 100% my parents said they're taking care of it. Plane tickets, transportation, accommodations, whatever needs to happen so that we can spend time with them. They're going to take care of it, and that's going to be sometime in 2019. Okay, everybody? Fair enough? All right. All right. So, that's really all I've got. What I'd like to do is a couple of quick shout-outs, and then we're going to do some quick Q&A for those on the stream, and that's it for the podcast, okay? So, let's see here. A few people cheered. Pone Cake cheered. He said Discord has a game called Last Year the Nightmare. Never heard of it. Take a glow. How do you play a game on Discord? I thought Discord was a chat client. Take a glow cheers at Ace Combat 7. I'm considering it. It's on my list. Ace A cheers. I don't know if it's feasible, but is it possible for your parents to come live with you? No, see, that's the thing. It's not. Number one, my dad, sadly, even though my dad's in bad health, he's in a situation where he still has to work like 2 or 3 years to qualify for the full unemployment. Oh my God. The full retirement benefits that he's supposed to qualify for. So he can't leave his job, and they couldn't. They even said, we doubt we'd be able to make a trip across the country. Like, they want to visit. They've wanted to visit for the past 2 years. They said we probably, last year with everything that happened with my breakup, with my ex and all of that, they wanted to come out here and help, but my dad was in poor health and they couldn't do it. So there's no way they could make the trip out here. DSP Sauce Walker tipped me $1 and says, have you heard about the Twitch user that got banned for twerking? No, and I have no thoughts about that. I don't know why the hell you're bringing that up at a time like this. What a stupid thing. Okay. All right.
I love it when they just needle him with little shit like that. But so right at the end of it, here we go again. He says his parents can't come out to visit or live with him because his dad still has to work 2 or 3 more years so he can qualify for his retirement benefits. You just said he could go at any moment. You literally just said that earlier in this video. But somehow he has to work 2 or 3 more years to qualify for retirement benefits. And by the way, knowing the way his father is and his parents, the way he's previously talked about them, I bet you his dad was going to work past his retirement age. Just to even prove how much more of a fucking liar this piece of trash is, man. But back to the beginning of it. He says he's being transparent because he doesn't want his viewers to believe what the trolls are going to say about him using donated money to do this. It's so fucked up because even if his parents did pay 100% for everything, he lies so much that you can't even believe him. You know, this is what happens when you cry wolf or feign fucking distress all the time. You have to constantly remind people that you're telling the truth over and over again. You deserve this fucking life, man. And then probably my favorite part of that clip is he feigns confusion about how you use Discord. He says he, quote, heard it was just a chat client, unquote. And he threw his hands up and shook his head and did a confused face. Meanwhile, he more than likely used Discord that fucking day to show off his stupid ass guildmates. To show off to them, I mean. Can't make this shit up, man. Go back and look at those WWE Champions screenshots that somebody was able to go back into the Discord and get from his fucking original guild he was in. And look up the dates on those pictures and those screenshots and see where they were from. And he's in there bragging about his fucking roster and lineup and all that shit. But right here, he doesn't even know how to use Discord. He just heard that it was a chat client. Fucking bullshit, man. Next clip.
Okay. I'm not saying I won't take a few pictures or whatever, but you got to make that separation. Lee Rayner says, you mentioned before you don't think you'd ever want to have kids. Do you have siblings, and do your parents have thoughts about that? I have no siblings. I have a cousin who grew up with me as a sister, kind of, 5 years older than me, who I have no idea how she's doing. Last I heard, she was doing terribly, in terrible health, had all kinds of personal problems over her life, so I don't know much about her anymore. I told my parents that probably we're not going to have kids, and they're okay with that, you know. I think they realize that boat has kind of sailed. If I was going to have kids, I probably wouldn't have kept doing YouTube as a job, and I would have went for more stable employment. And, you know, not really thinking about it, so I think they're okay with that. So. No Hobo X. Oh, my God. He goes, you can stream Mario Party with Cat and your parents for fun. Oh. No. Not a good idea. The whole point of the trip would be to spend significant, meaningful time with my parents and to show Cat Connecticut, not to be playing video games. Oh my goodness. My parents are the opposite. The only video games my parents have ever been involved in, my dad used to play the Atari 7800 with me, and that was it. As soon as I started playing the NES, my dad never touched another video game in his life. My mom's never touched a video game. Not gonna happen.
Holy fucking shit, man. I love it. I fucking love it. He's talking about spending time with his family, and it's not going to be personal, or it's not going to be a business. It's going to be all personal. And then an evil troll tells him that he could stream Mario Party with Cat and his parents for fun. I wish y'all could have heard my reaction when I was listening to this the first time, and I cracked up so fucking much. We need to start like a GoFundMe to make this fucking happen in real life the next time he visits. I'm in for the first 1,000, Philip. His dad with the oxygen tank and slippers on, beating his son in Choco Island stage, whatever the fuck that one level's called. And then we get an appearance from good old Mama Burnell. You know, Dave, honey, you need to get a job. You can't play video games all your life. Oh my God. Shout out to Mama Burnell, as always. Let's go back to the beginning of the clip. He says he has a cousin that was like a sister to him growing up, and then proceeds to tell the entire internet that she has all kinds of personal problems and is in terrible health the last he heard. And he doesn't know much about her anymore. He even does a fucking leg slap to let you know how much he doesn't give a shit about her. Sound good? Absolutely incredible, man. And if he was going to have kids, He would have quit YouTube as a job and went and looked for more stable employment. What the fuck? I thought you said this was the most stable employment you've ever had. You piece of shit. You tell us that all the time. It's funny how your story changes when you need it to suit you. Isn't it, Shawn Michaels? And again, let's give some prayer hands to that troll for suggesting Mario Party with Ket and his parents. I would fucking love to see it.
Ruby Atomic Charity says you should see a priest about your unusually bad misfortune to see if you can get that sorted out. I know, like, it sucks because, like, it's like my life has been a series of highs and lows. Something really amazingly positive happens, so let's counter that with a bunch of shit. So, wow, you know, terrible thing happens in 2017. My income gets screwed up, plus, you know, the breakup with my ex and all that fucked up shit. Then I meet Kat and things are going well. And then, you know, taxes. Oh my God, state taxes that I didn't know I owed. Then I get over that hill and then Kat moves in with me. Oh, trolls fuck over my YouTube channel and completely destroy my opportunities as sponsorship. And now I'm in terrible financial position. I can't refinance. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll have some positivity because Emerald 7 came in and gifted a bunch of subs and is helping me out. But then, oh, by the way, now you don't have enough money to pay your bills in January. It's like what the fuck? Now it's like, oh, maybe I could get through this situation in 2019. Oh, now your parents are in ill health. You got to visit them. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I've never maintained a high or a low. It's just like all over the fucking place. But you know what? The one thing that does need to be said, thank God I get the highs. You know what I mean? Thank God I get the positives. If it was just negative, that would be horrible. At least I get the positives to balance with the negatives. So...
That clip sums him up just about more than any other clip I've ever fucking heard in my life. This dude has lived such a privileged fucking life, man. And he thinks he has it tough and hard, and he deals with all these fucking hardships. He probably thinks the rest of us couldn't deal with these fucking hardships. That's what makes him so unique. And let's go back to the beginning of it. So someone cheers and says, you should see a priest about your unusually bad misfortune to see if you can get that sorted out. It's fucked up that he has these dumbasses believing this too. This is how you know these fucking dumbass pay pigs have no idea what real life is like. They think he's telling the truth when he says he has a hard life. These dumbasses, man, that don't do anything, don't contribute anything to society. They're probably fucking shut-ins, and I don't want to start insulting a bunch of people, so I'm just going to end it there. But you know what I'm fucking saying. But then going back to the clip, he immediately goes into victim mode. He says his income gets screwed up in 2017, plus the breakup with his ex. Then he uses taxes and state taxes as the next bad thing. And then the trolls fuck up his YouTube channel and cost him opportunities at sponsorships. He then somehow uses Emerald 7 as a bad thing, and that now he doesn't have money for bills in January of 2019. What the fuck, man? Somebody comes through and gives you $15,000 roughly, and only this piece of trash can find a way to turn that into a negative or assume a negative comes right after that. If you or I got $15,000 out of nowhere, that would probably make the rest of our year. Legitimately. And this guy just got that money and look what he's doing. Look how he's acting. And then towards the end of it, he says, and this is a direct quote, oh, maybe I can get through this situation in 2019, but oh, now your parents are in ill health and you got to visit them, unquote. How is this even possible? He's such a piece of shit. Notice how he slipped up and said 2017 instead of 2019, by the way. What's the next hurdle, DSP? It's almost like he memorized the wrong script and misread his lines. Feign distress, give false hope, rinse and repeat. 2017, 2019, 2021. There's no fucking difference. Next clip.
Fireworks are nice, but I'm not crazy for them. Like, I had friends who used to, like, buy them and set them off in the street every year, but I'm not like that. Ruby Atomic said, cheers, do you have a good feeling about 2019 personally? You know what? I really don't know. What I would like to say is I would like to be positive and feel that I'm going to get through the financial problems I have. Emerald 7, no lie, was a really good start to that. He took a big chunk out of what I'm going to end up owing the government, which is great. At the same time, I've still got a ways to go, and I got to get through just the next 2 weeks, which I don't, I don't have enough money to get through. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might end up in debt for 2-3 weeks till I get paid. I might end up in debt until Emerald 7's gifted subs hit in February, and then be able to pay some of that off, which means less money to go to the taxes. You see what I mean? It's all a snowballing thing. And I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm really fucking nervous about it. So that being said, I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to feel that if I stay positive, I keep putting out good streams for you guys, good things will happen. Good things have happened. People have come and helped me out anonymously. People like Emerald 7 or whatever, have done good things. And that's a good thing that I hope that we can continue that. I want to stay here. I want to keep this beautiful life I have with Kat in this house. I want to be able to put out great streams for you every single day that I can. I want to hopefully have no hitches, go be able to see my parents and spend time with them, have them meet Kat, someone who I want to eventually marry and stuff. I want 2019 to be a great year. But I'm a realist, and I'm not a pessimist, but I'm a realist at this point, and I know that there is a group of disgusting fucking people who do absolutely everything that they try to do to fuck me over and ruin my life. And they will find every possible way to do it. And I don't know how to shake them anymore. It used to be, okay, so Phil is a scumbag because he does these terrible things. I stopped doing the things that people were telling me were bad. The only thing that people criticize me for now is that I e-bag, which every fucking streamer, every YouTuber who's not a million subs and a million views, all have plugs and all do exactly what I fucking do. It's just that I'm treated unfairly, and everyone else can do it, but I'm not allowed to do what everyone else does, apparently. So outside of that, I don't know what else I could possibly do. Like, I'm doing my best to try to be a better person, to improve. And then these people still are trying to ruin my life. It's obvious that's not what it was about to begin with, It wasn't. The guy who wasted 2 weeks of my fucking time pretending to be a fan who was going to help contribute, and they wanted pictures of my figurines, my statues and stuff in the Nook, and said that they would want to buy a statue, and then sends me a fake PayPal invoice pretending to fucking send me money and saying that they were going to help. That person is not a normal person. This is not working in their fucking head. They're nuts. And they think that's funny. They think that that's like use of their time. That's positive. It's not. It's disgusting. And I know that no matter how much I work to be positive in 2019, there are still going to be people who will try to fuck me at every turn. And I need to overcome that. I need to be as positive as I can with everything that I do. And I need to really focus in on that. Because if I don't and I lose sight of the positives and I lose sight, I could easily get caught up with all the negative shit that I know is probably going to happen. 2019 will not be a perfect year. It'll be a good year, but it's not going to be a perfect year. You know what I mean? And I need to understand that and not let these negative assholes dominate my streams and dominate my life and take over my mentality in my head and fuck me,
Oh, you poor fucking baby. Go cry to somebody else, bitch. No simping in this motherfucker. So back to the beginning of it. Someone cheers and asks, do you have a good feeling about 2019 personally? And then he goes back into Emerald 7 again and says it was a really good start to 2019 for him. But he still has a long way to go. And he has to try to get through the next few weeks. Again, imagine someone coming into your life and dropping roughly 15K on you, and you still have the nerve to complain about anything. It's unbelievable. He then says he doesn't have enough money to make it through the next 2 weeks. Where's this fucking wife of yours that supposedly has this job where she needs to make sure she can get vacation time from? Do you see how it makes zero sense? And then let's go ahead and take a look at this screenshot here that came up right in the middle of it. This fucking cheer. Somebody named Gas Powered Stick does 100 bitch here and says, just sell the house you can't afford and move back to the other house you already own. You absolute dunce. I feel sorry that your parents raised such a moron. Guess they're paying for it now. Fucking beautiful. Prayer hands in chat for Gas Powered Stick. Telling this motherfucker like it is. How about you sell the fucking house that you live in now and move back to the other house you already own? That you can pay down and you can afford to pay your bills, and it's not such an expensive area to live in like you're currently in. You dipshit. But now, what do you think happened to Gas Powered Stick? Called him a fucking troll and banned him. He then talks about disgusting fucking people like Gas Powered Stick here who try to ruin his life. Notice nowhere in this shit does he list his own fucking faults. Nowhere does his mobile game addiction come into play. Nowhere does his alcohol addiction come into play. Let's just blame everyone else. And then a direct quote, "The only thing that people criticize me now for is that I e-beg," unquote. He then goes on to say that all streamers and content creators do this. Let me fucking tell you something, man. If y'all ever see me get to the point where I'm begging for money anywhere even remotely close to this piece of shit, someone pull the fucking plug on me, please. This guy's fucking delusional. If he thinks anybody acts like him and talks about their fucking bills the way he does and begs for, literally begs, literally. You know, there's honestly nothing wrong with asking for help every once in a while. People need fucking help sometimes, man. But once it's obvious that they're pleading for help and lying about where that help is going, then it crosses the fucking line. And people are going to react a certain way, rightfully so. Because that's 100% taking advantage of people's generosity. And that's one of the few things that almost everyone can agree on that it's fucked up to do. And this is why he gets all the shit that he does. And then at the end of the clip, he talks about the Good Samaritan that wasted 2 weeks of his time with the statue emails. One more time, can I get some prayer hands in chat for that Good Samaritan, please? I like that he leaves out how desperate he was for the money, emailing the guy back like at 4 a.m. Where's the money? You said you were going to give the money. Where is it? Fucking asshole, man. It's always everybody else and nothing about him. Fuck you.
All right, so just so everyone knows, I'm going to say this right now. I just got an email from someone saying, I want to donate money to help you. How can I help you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not taking any behind-the-scenes contributions whatsoever. I'm making this 100% upfront clear right now. I do not accept anything behind the scenes. You cannot send me a check. Anything you want to contribute must be publicly done, whether it's you pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, all right? Whether it's tipping me on a stream, whether it's, you cheer or sub on a stream, it has to be done through a publicly known method. I want full transparency. I don't want anyone trying to suspect me of shit that I'm not doing, because this all stems from the troll, who was not a real person who wanted to help me, but a troll who claimed they wanted to give me $9,000 to help, but they wanted to remain private no matter what. They didn't want their information to get out. But they would be willing to get a shout out or whatever, and if I wanted to let people know, so what should we do? And I went back to them and very honestly said, really the best way to protect your identity, if that was the case, if you 100% wanted no chance, would be to just not let anyone know and keep it private. And that troll then put it out on the internet like Phil's trying to hide contributions and hide it from his fans and make tons of money behind the scenes. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Seriously. Because the only people who would see that situation and read it as that or understand it as that is someone who is actually a negative piece of shit who hates me and doesn't want to believe that I actually need help. You think that I'm trying to scam everyone and I'm being dishonest? Then fuck you. You're not going to be a fan of mine. You don't belong on my streams. You go fuck yourself. Because there's no point in me trying to win over those people. If you're that stupid and you hate me that much, there's nothing I could do to win you over. So just go fuck yourself and go away and let all of us be positive here together and not have to deal with your stupid shit, okay? But if you actually do want to contribute, it must be through a positive method, a public method, all right? So cheering, subbing, tipping, or pledging to my Patreon, those are the four... can't even count anymore. 4 big ways you can contribute. You must do it through that method. Much like Emerald 7 did all those gifting of subs. That was great. Same deal. Okay?
Really, you fucking piece of shit. You don't say. Back to the beginning of it. Direct quote. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not taking any behind the scenes contributions whatsoever. I'm making this 100% upfront clear right now. I do not accept anything behind the scenes. You cannot send me a check. Anything you want to contribute must be publicly done, unquote. Then he goes back to the Good Samaritan, and he says that, quote, troll put it out on the internet like Phil's trying to hide contributions and hide it from his fans and make tons of money behind the scenes, unquote. And then let's go ahead and take a look at this fucking screenshot here that I went back and looked up. And I know you guys remember this, and I know you remember Tevin's video on this. And if you haven't seen this before, or you weren't around back then, Tevin's video was called the $1,000 Interaction. And the screenshot is Dave with his arm over his head like an orangutan and just sitting there looking depressed and bored as shit. But Court Verg, or whoever the fuck this guy was, donated $1,000 at least. I don't know if the other 100 was there already. $1,000 overnight. And it showed up on DSP Streamlabs leaderboard under monthly and weekly. And it just all of a sudden showed up. And DSP made no mention of it on the next day. No fucking mention of it, despite people knowing about it and people going in there and asking who is Court Verg and saying this shit, and he just kept it quiet. Don't know what you're talking about. Banned. Until eventually one of his positive contributors had to reveal what happened, and Tevin had already put it out. And then what do you think the next thing happened? All of a sudden you can't see the monthly and weekly, and he disabled the fucking Streamlabs leaderboard. But I'm sorry, what was the direct quote again? I'm not taking any behind the scenes contributions whatsoever. I'm making this 100% upfront clear right now. I do not accept anything behind the scenes. You cannot send me a check. Anything you contribute must be publicly done. Blah, blah, blah. Troll put it out on the internet like Phil's trying to hide contributions and hide it from his fans and make tons of money behind the scenes. And didn't, like a couple of days ago, now I have been detoxing a little bit from his content. I haven't been watching the streams, restreams, haven't been in the Discord. But just a few days ago, didn't he say No Couture is a person who regularly tips him behind the scenes and doesn't do it on stream? Did he or did he not say that? I'm not even talking about 1 Minute Man at this point. No Couture, who regularly tips 100 or more. And this dumbass, he's so stupid, he admitted that No Couture tips him regularly behind the scenes off stream. So what the fuck has changed, Phil? Why do you accept all these fucking behind the scenes contributions now? Again, do you see how things change when they need to suit him? And again, this fucking picture right here, Court Verg, and praise be to Tevin for pointing this shit out, making that video. Part of me almost wishes he never would have said anything, because then we could have just had this, but then we wouldn't have known about it. He would have been just fucking the only one looking at it. But praise be to Tevin for putting this shit out. And again, it proves how much this fucking guy is willing to lie for anything, for any reason, but especially when it involves money. Fuck you.
All right. Lunatic Fringe tipped me $1. He says, you got maybe a tip for someone who don't like being alone and feels lonely a lot. It's the holidays. I'm single and lonely. I don't like it. Last year I was drinking and tipsy. I don't know what to do this time. It sucks. I used to be the same deal, dude. Right? I did. I used to be the same deal where I was depressed. I was lonely. I felt like my life was never going to get better. I felt like my life was meaningless. And this is truth. Me coming from a place where I was very depressed and I hated my life. And you know what? There were times when I felt so sad and deep down that I thought that I might even do something that I would have regretted, and it would have hurt a lot of people. You know what I'm talking about. Thank God I didn't. Because in the last 10 years of my life that I became a content creator and all the things I did on the internet, that people have now overwhelmingly come out and told me, Phil, thank God for you. Thank you for motivation. Thank you for the entertainment. Thank you for just the moment of positivity in my life that you gave me. All those people that I've helped that I wouldn't have helped if I wasn't here anymore. You know what I mean? What you got to do is focus on the positives in your life. Are you a gamer? Find games that you like to play and do that. Turn that into a hobby. You have to occupy yourself with stuff that's going to keep your mind from having those negative, disgusting thoughts, because the more you have them, the more they're going to take you over. Like I mentioned earlier on this podcast, if you find that certain things make you feel worse, like drinking, don't do it. You know, you got to do things that are going to make you feel positive. Maybe go work out at the gym. Maybe find a different kind of hobby. Drive. Do something that's going to occupy you, that you're not going to be focused on being alone and negative. You have to, because you can't let yourself be overcome with this sadness and depression that's going to make you think stupid shit. Okay? It's not. There's no one's life on this planet Earth that's not worth living. That's the truth. That everyone has the ability to have an amazing, beautiful life. The problem is there's just some people that don't have the support they need and don't have the means to do it by themselves. And if people would just reach out and help those fucking people, the world would be such a better place, you know?
All right, so one of his pay pigs cheers and asks him what to do about being lonely and depressed. Now, I'm not going to shit talk Phil and say he was suicide baiting here or whatever. The truth is, I really don't know how much of it is true, so I'm not even going to touch it. What I do know is that he's faked depression in the last few years when it needs to suit him. He's used it as a crutch and as a get out of jail free card whenever he's like fucking gone off or snapped at people. Who can forget the king of suffering shit and what he said to War Dog Leader? You know, Phil has to make his life out to be some tough situation that none of us could fucking get through. When in reality, and I'm not gonna lie, I love saying this, most of his problems would be a fucking Tuesday for the rest of us. And I love it. I love it. You know, what I will say in his favor is that he gave good advice to this guy to get out and do stuff. Take your mind off of what's negatively affecting you. Go to the gym. Talk to a friend. You know, go back and play some of your favorite video games. Jump on YouTube. Shit, man. I mean, if you are being affected by depression or loneliness or whatever, one thing I'll say is that what I hope people get out of this, and this is 100% true. I mean what I'm saying right here. What I hope people are getting out of these videos that I'm making is that you feel like a therapy session at the end of it. Like you feel like you just got some shit off your chest. Because when I'm done recording, I feel so much fucking better. This is like therapy for me. Getting to release all this shit out. And there's another thing that I've been itching to say, but I've been holding back on it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't get mad or you can't get frustrated about this bullshit. Don't let anybody fucking tell you that. If they tell you just to point and laugh, you know, I almost want to stick my middle finger right in their fucking face. How am I going to point and laugh at a guy who scams people that don't know any fucking better? A lot of these people that can't help themselves. And he lies and acts like his life is harder than theirs. And you want to just point and laugh at that? Nah, man. Don't let anyone tell you you can't get mad or frustrated about this shit. I see it all the time. But I'm doing this, and part of it, like I said, I feel better when I'm done recording this shit because I let it all out, man. And I hope if there's one thing you can take from these videos besides entertainment is that you feel the way I feel when I'm done with one of these fucking videos. You know, I hope it translates over and I hope you're able to feel it. But that's what I was going to say is he gave good advice to this guy, but it's just something that for some reason he doesn't seem to follow it. Go to the gym, talk to a friend. Get out and do something. He doesn't fucking do this shit. It's mind-boggling. But, you know, I have been wanting to say that, but I've been holding back. But don't let anybody tell you to sit there and point and laugh and don't get mad. Fuck you, man. If you want to get mad, you can get fucking angry. You can get frustrated as long as you release that shit and let it out. Because that's what it's all about. Next clip.
All right. A lot of shout-outs here. Hold on. Boing Boom Chop cheered and says, "You bought in weed since it's legal there." No. Ren Jesse James resub for the 18th month in a row. He says, "If you find yourself able to get a cat soon, hit me up. One dropped its babies in my dad's garage. While he's willing to feed them, he wants them gone. I already said it's not going to be anytime soon." Take a glow cheer. He says, "Go back and play one of the still popular competitive shooters like Rainbow Six Siege or Overwatch, or maybe Paladins." Ron Paul tipped me $1.50 and asked me about another one of these videos about me and my career. No, I didn't see it. I don't watch that stuff. I create my own content, And that's all I focus on. I don't watch any other YouTuber. I don't watch any drama queen talking about me. I don't watch anyone trying to make a buck off of me or make a living off of what I do. I just focus on my own shit. Of course, through the grapevine, I hear tons about that stuff, but I don't know anything personally about it. So thanks for the tip, but I'm not addressing any of that stuff. No, Android, I never heard anything from Emerald 7. He was just a good Samaritan. He came by, wanted to help, dropped a bomb of subs. Awesome. Moved on. That's what I wish Tutankhamun would have been. Because if that was Tutankhamun, come by, help, see you later. This negativity and this basically the dip that I saw in October and November on Twitch wouldn't have happened. The problem was Tutankhamun made the streams feel worse because he made the streams that he was on about him, and therefore then it proved that he all the time wasn't trying to be supportive, was trying to actually be a negative guy when he eventually turned on me, while Emerald 7 was the complete polar opposite. He did everything right and is really positive experience. So
alright, and that's going to be the last clip for this video. Let's go ahead and break it down, and then we got a special present as well at the end of it. But going back to the beginning, somebody cheers and asks him if he wants a cat to let them know, because the person's cat had a bunch of babies and his dad wants them gone. You know, here's part of what makes Phil a fucking scumbag. He doesn't even have to lie here. He doesn't. All he has to do is say no thank you and move on. But what does he do? He glances over at the camera and says, I already said it's not going to be anytime soon, unquote. That's a direct quote. I already said it's not going to be anytime soon. He 100% had Jasper there. 100 fucking percent. It's not even debatable. This guy can't say a simple statement without lying. You know, this is what tells me he lies about fucking everything. How many times did he lie in this 30-minute section of the video alone? And by the way, this was roughly the last 30 plus minutes or so of part 3 of this podcast. Meaning there was multiple hours that I didn't even cover. There's no telling how many other things he lied about that we could find now. And shout out to Ron Paul for the cheer. Somebody fucking named Ron Paul cheered him. He then says that Emerald 7 was a good Samaritan and came by and dropped a bomb of subs and then moved on. He says he wishes that's what Tut would have been. He's so far gone from reality. He wants people to come by, give him tens of thousands of dollars for literally no reason whatsoever, and then just leave and don't say anything or draw attention to themselves. What do you even fucking say, man? He then blames Tut again for his own personal dip in income in October and November of 2018. Yeah, it's Tut's fault that you couldn't be responsible and save any of that money he gave you. It's Tut's fault that you're a disgusting mobile game addict with no self-control. It's Tut's fault that you moved a whore in from across the country when you were supposedly struggling to keep your heat on. It's Tut's fault that you had to lie right to the camera about not owning a cat for financial reasons. And it was damn sure Tut's fault that you had to lie about your elderly parents being at death's door so you could fly across the country and take a vacation and get married. Tut sure was a fucking asshole man. And that's the end of that video. Give a quick shout out to Jock here on YouTube. He hit me up like a week or two before and said he was going to send me something. And he said that he had gotten his first paycheck in a while. And, you know, I tried to give him some support. I said, hey, don't worry about sending anything, man. Pay what you need to pay until those checks come in steadily. And he still went ahead and sent a little something. It wasn't a lot, but, you know, he told me, he said, it's not going to be DSP levels, but I'm going to send you something. And he sure did. So I congratulated him recently. I hope y'all can join me in congratulating Jock and give him some more support. Hopefully those paychecks keep rolling in, bud. Good fucking job. Now let's go on to the special present for everybody. I came across this when I was doing the research for this video because I went and looked up Tevin's video on this. And I used to think that this was a hidden private video. Only people with links could get to it. But it turns out it's on his archive channel. And I found, and I was there this night. I remember this specifically, and I'm sure some of y'all do as well. The night that he signed off and he played his entire fucking soundboard and it went on for 6 fucking minutes. So if you don't want to spend 6 minutes listening to this, go ahead and check out. He played his entire soundboard, and the longer it went, the better it got. And I just wanted to include this since I heard it recently, and I think y'all are going to enjoy it too. I detoxed for a few days. I just got bored and made this video. I'll have something out probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, what y'all want to see next, and enjoy this fucking present because I know I damn sure did. I'll holler at y'all very, very soon. Thank you.
Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow.
I've talked so much on microphone for the last 10 freaking years that I've pretty much mastered it.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Get that ass banned.
Now wait a minute, Matt! No! Matt, no!
You fell for it. Congrats, you fell for the marketing scheme.
I want all my money back. I'm just a crazy old man. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You want to get Goldust?
Let's do this shit! Oi!
Now that's fucking based. Blessed be his name. Amen. Amen.
I don't know what else the game wants! How fucking dare you?
Absolutely fierce AF.
And there was really nothing I could do. Bullshit! There was nothing I could do about it at all.
This guy shall be eradicated. This guy will come no more. But Deshaun, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mama, tell your brother, tell your uncle, tell your sister, tell your cousins, tell your cousin's sons, tell your cousin's daughter, tell anyone about this. Sweet cash. So try me, bitch. Try me. Try me. I just don't give a fuck. Like Slim Shady. Back to back to back to back to back to back. Like Drake.
I died from nothing. Nothing even hit me. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. Yeah, yeah. So really, you have no right to criticize because you're the asshole who created the situation to begin with, you know? But that's what happens when you're a hypocritical douchebag on the internet. What else can I say? I mean, these people don't want to ever look in the mirror at themselves. They just want to criticize others. So, let me fucking unleash the beast. Why am I toxic? That's why I'm the king of hate. Because I'm the king of that hatred against me. I own it. And I become a fucking powerful person. I want to give you a free 3.5-hour gameplay stream. And you're complaining because I'm giving a few plugs beforehand to pay my fucking bills. I mean, talk about being immature and not a logical being that just doesn't understand how fucking business works, that you're gonna sit there and complain. Really. No, fuck you. Seriously. Seriously. Fuck you.
Yes, they said that you're a gay boy, and that we're gonna make love to each other tonight.
Fuck you, I have your money anyway.
You brought it up. You're the one who's causing the problem here. You. Yes, you. You. Yes, you. You are constantly nagged. I fucking hate Google. I do. I hate them. Constantly whining. Wah, wah. Shut the fuck up. Wah.
My god, it's so buggy. The whole game is a fucking game bug. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm getting pissed, okay? It's official. This is fucking stupid bullshit. I didn't fucking fail the mission.
Quick buck, quick buck, quick buck. It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. Thank you very, 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 very much.
You're gonna lose, you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. You're thugging it and loving it. Get the haters out there, get them out of here.
What? What the fuck? Hell!
You should tip me. You should tip me.
Effing normies re.
I'm too pretty to die. You can't even make this shit up. You seriously can't make it up. No spicy sausage for me. Bitch! 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 Damn! I will fucking deck a bitch. No duh! Hey, pretty bitches, what's going on?
I'm the one who gets paid to play the shitty game. You're the one who paid to play the shitty game. See? See the difference?
That's right, you fucking pay pig. That's right.
You. I'm talking to you. That's right.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
I want to just fucking stream and have a good time. Maybe have a good game. I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. I've wanted it so fucking bad.
No!
Miserable. Just miserable. The whole situation, the only way to describe it really, miserable.
Holler! If you hear me!
I do this for fucking money. I don't do this for enjoyment. Controller's harder to learn than mouse and keyboard. I really need to make this fucking money. I'm washed up, dude. I'm just trying to milk this shit for every dollar I can. Life's good, life's great. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead and donate.
Look here! Look, listen!
I don't play games for fun, dude. I don't smile, man. I got nothing to smile about in life. Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Dead air. This dude's doing streams! Wow. Oh my god! Wow! This motherfucker is garbage!
Son of a bitch! You piece of shit! You fucking goddamn fucker! Listen, fuckhead! You have fucking crossed the line! Get that through your goddamn fucking head! Stop pushing your shit!
What the fuck? Fuck you! Oh my fucking god!
Fuck yeah! You know, there's a sick motherfucker on the internet called Tevin, and look what happened because of fucking Tevin and his shithead fan base.
A cesspool of bullshit. If you want an explanation, rewind the stream. I'm not gonna explain myself again, man.
Get in the ring, man!
You're making me very uncomfortable. Please leave. Please leave.